Chapter 1. Are you often plagued with intrusive or unwanted thoughts and feelings? Do you frequent fast food joints knowing damn well satisfaction will turn to guilt as you inhale a week's worth of grease in one sitting? Let us not forget those sick and perverted fantasies of yours that, if acted upon, would likely result in an ankle monitor or house arrest at the very least. What if I told you you could visit a specialist and have the debased and abhorrent filth removed from thine mind with surgical precision? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the premise of the indie title Wantless, Solace at World's End, developed by Droprate Studio, released in early access on November 8, 2023. Wantless is a turn-based tactical RPG set in Ghost Metropolis, a series of scattered outposts managed by the very few who remain, as the game refers to them, the cognizant, who look after the wantless. Hollow husks, devoid of wants, desires, and ambitions. Shit. Their physiological needs remain unchanged, it's just that they've become ultra-chill. Were it up to them, they would quite happily lay in their own excrement until their bodies give out. I can only hope to reach such level of zen one day. Before I take you for a walk through this wonderful indie game, I'd just like to mention that I've had a chance to ask the developers some questions. So if you're interested in what the devs like to eat for breakfast, or what they think of the Lion King's remake, then stick around. You play as Iris, a transvestite who... No, hang on, this can't be right. You play as Iris, a transposer, capable of violently expunging thoughts, feelings, memories, and desires out of her patient's mind. Feeling guilty for abandoning your New Year's resolution just a few weeks into the new year, you bitch-willed fuck? No problem. Just book an appointment at the Altar Hut, Iris's boat, and as I'm saying this, I'm not entirely convinced you should. I mean, I wouldn't go to a doctor who built a practice on a boat, much less a doctor who can get inside of your literal mind to fight feelings. What's to stop them from skipping town if they mess you up? The world of Ghost Metropolis doesn't exactly strike me as a place where legal consequences are a thing. Chapter 2. Are you familiar with the likes of Dark Souls, Remnant, or Neo? Because you can expect Wantless to be like none of those games. Instead, it draws inspiration from Hades and Darkest Dungeon, though the developers also mentioned XCOM and Divinity: Original Sin, two games that I tried on multiple occasions and just couldn't get into. You ever really want to like something and continue giving it chance after chance, but ultimately end up reaffirming your beliefs each time? Well, that's me with XCOM and Divinity.
I still hate it.
And if you tried to get me to play Wantless and told me that the gameplay is like either one of those games, then I wouldn't touch it with a 10, much less a 2-foot pole. For the majority of your time with the game, you'll be transposing your patients, and if you're still struggling with that concept, just imagine performing a rectal examination, wherein you've got to use your fingers to not only feel around the tissue, but to engage in a winner-takes-all duel with the subject's cavity, while they are blissfully unaware of what's going on. Your patients' minds are digitalized into explorable rooms, each with their own sets of traps and boons in forms of impulses and memories, respectively. Your goal as the transposer is to transpose. And you achieve this in several ways. Some patients require you to get rid of thoughts or feelings that take on a shape of monsters you fight. Some are pathetic, while others are batshit fucking insane, requiring specific strategies or different builds entirely. Though I could also just be bad at the game, so take that with a grain of salt. Other times you'll need to preserve the patient's memories, which in theory is pretty easy, as you just need to interact with them. Though when you attempt to delve deeper into the subject's mind for extra rewards, this will inevitably increase their instability, which can only be pushed so far before disconnecting you from the operation. You will need to balance out your greed for Dark Helix against the current setup of the room and your enemies, as some just want to watch the world burn and will nonchalantly blow up memories in their way, destruction of which increases the aforementioned instability further, something you can witness me do to myself on the screen right now.
kind of retarded.
Failing a transposition is usually quite funny, as people flock to you in a desperate attempt to be rid of their troubles. Meanwhile, if you're not the tactical genius you thought you were, as was the case for me, you will quite frequently fuck something up and get booted out of the operation, prompting your deeply depressed patients to say stuff like, "I have nothing else left now." To which you, of course, get to respond with, "Godspeed, lady! Next!" Now, as I have hopefully already mentioned, the game, or rather combat, is turn-based. Each turn you have 8 action points to spend, whereas your enemies can have up to the same amount, though their AP directly corresponds with the amount you spent in your round. So if you're really waiting for your healing skill to come off cooldown, for example, it tends to be a good idea to only use a single action point so that your enemies have no way of attacking you. Then again, they could also stockpile their unused AP, effectively turning 1 into 3, giving them a chance to attack in the next round regardless. Your skills, or rather synapses as the game calls them, can be boosted during combat by spending awareness points, which reset with each new patient and can be earned by killing enemies. Not only does it boost the potency of the synapse you're about to use, but it also prevents the ability's charge from depleting for the turn. In most games, the skills that you level up are your combat abilities, whereas Wantless takes the path of exile route of providing you with a fuckton of passives that largely influence the synapses you're going to construct and how you approach enemies. When you're not busy messing around in your patients' minds, you'll likely be pretending to know what you're doing in the Neural Fusion tab, your makeshift lab wherein you engineer synapses. They consist of the primordial shapes, the square, the circle, and the triangle, and together they form... well, they form whatever the hell you came up with. Pay attention now, I won't repeat myself. You first start with the form, single target, melee, short or long range, AoE, around you or distant, an allied totem or perhaps a ranged automaton. Make sure you're also happy with the predetermined cooldown and how many effect slots you're gonna utilize, and let's move on. Is it a damaging skill? One that you're planning to use nearly every round? Stuff it with direct damage, damage over time, and additional debuffs like lowering damage resistance or reduced healing. Some fuckers heal a lot, like Ambition, who will summon troops, stuff their little bellies full of food, and then once plump enough, devour them, restoring a decent chunk of his health in the process. Lastly, you gotta throw an efficiency synapse into the mix, which will dictate the AP usage of the complete skill, its overall potency and cooldown. Form and effect synapses, as previously mentioned, sometimes come with their predetermined cooldowns, which should ideally match that of the efficiency. Otherwise, if you try to pair an effect with a minimum cooldown of 3 with a 0 cooldown efficiency, the resulting skill will cost so much discipline to wield, you might even end up being unable to make use of it entirely. Think of discipline as equip load and synapses as gear with its own weight. The more robust a synapse is, the heavier it will be. So, while it is nice to traverse the patient's mind equipped with the equivalent of a short-ranged ballistic missile, it's also nice to have access to multiple skills, as there is no one-size-fits-all in Wantless. Or maybe there is, and I'm essentially broadcasting to the world how bad I am at the game, once again.
I'm a loser! A loser! Too far! God!
Items more or less function in much the same way as your passives from the mind tree. You can equip a coat and trinkets which tend to provide various percentage-based bonuses, with a few exceptions here and there, whereas gloves determine the range and power of your basic attack. And since we're still discussing the stuff you can do on board thine boat, let's also talk about Dealer, who serves as a merchant once you progress the main questline far enough, which isn't very far to be fair. The items he sells and their rarity will largely be influenced by your reputation in the outpost that you're currently parked at. You start out in each outpost, not unlike me at family gatherings, unwelcome, and you have to convince the citizens that you're not quite as useless as you appear to be, eventually becoming a renowned transposer, something I am yet to reach, but new games, especially the ones gifted to me by one of you psychopaths, don't play themselves. just like reviews don't write themselves, and just like videos don't edit themselves. The more liked you are in any given outpost, the higher your chances of having rare or even legendary patients visit you. And on top of that, you also get unique patients with their own, more fleshed out stories, which I do not wish to spoil, so let's leave it at that. Now, I briefly mentioned dark elixirs of this game, shards, which can either be spent at dealers or used in the Fusion tab of the Neural Forge. Essentially, it allows you to upgrade your individual synapses tier, rarity, or reroll their special effects and such. And I love the idea. It adds another layer of complexity to the already expansive game, which, were it not for the fact that the main storyline is not yet finished, I wouldn't be able to tell that it's in early access. I barely encountered any bugs, it's overall very well polished, gameplay is tight, balancing on point, the game doesn't even crash, and it's honestly a great time. Absolutely worth your time and money. Too long didn't read, I guess. Chapter 3. Music, while thematically fitting, lacks variety. Now, this isn't necessarily a major drawback, as the game requires a certain amount of focus from you as the player in order to successfully complete each new room, meaning you won't really be thinking or paying attention to the fact that you've been listening to the same track on repeat, but I would be remiss had I not said anything. So there, I am mentioning it. Sound effects are much the same actually, fitting and subtle, though I have to commend the various glitching effects as throughout the game you will encounter something sinister, something other than the patient's own thoughts and feelings inside their mind, and the sound design of these encounters is very tight indeed. In fact, and you can quote me on this, it slaps. Chapter 4. Droprite have an easily accessible early access roadmap which, as of right now being the 18th of January, lists 4 major updates. One in January, which will likely have released by the time you're watching this review, and the following 3 in spring, summer, and winter. They all look fairly juicy. The January one promises to finish the main storyline, with the others adding a plethora more gear, synapses, area events, and even more skill trees. Now, have I missed anything? Probably. Wantless, Solace at World's End is deceptively deep and full of content, and you're gonna have a blast with it. Don't let the early access label dissuade you from giving them your money. This is coming from someone who is rather wary of buying unfinished games. Go on, buy it, treat yourself, show them support, and join the Discord server where you can interact with the devs. Let us rally together in supporting good games, lest we drown in the sea of hentai currently spreading across Steam like the shadow in Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Patrons, thank you very much for giving me a reason to keep this charade going. Subscribers, thank you for sticking around despite my somewhat unconventional upload schedule. And viewers, thank you for watching until the very end. That's it for today. The aforementioned Q&A is next, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers! What was the main source of inspiration for gameplay? I personally see a lot of Hades and Darkest Dungeon DNA in the game. Those two are definitely some of the visual and structural influences. Path of Exile and Tyranny have inspired some of the progression systems, while core gameplay borrows from XCOM and Divinity: Original Sin. How many developers are currently working on the project? There's 3 of us. This is your first game as a studio. Could you share what other projects some of the developers were previously involved with? We worked at a company named NovaQuark on a sandbox MMO named Dual Universe, as well as at Ubisoft for a shorter period of time. The game's art style is quite Lovecraftian. Does anybody on the team have a favorite Lovecraft story? Mine's pretty generic, The Shadow over Innsmouth. We really love the setting in that one. The Hound has a haunting finale, and our art director says The White Ship. Is there a particular part of the game that proved more difficult to implement or manage than you previously thought? Balancing difficulty, power, and pacing of content unlocking is difficult. It's all pretty tightly connected, the synapses, mind tree, patient tiers, etc., so you can't move one piece without nudging everything else. The game in its current state has 8 areas, each with their own unique patients and differing difficulties. At this point in time, how many areas in total are you planning to have in Ghost Metropolis? We're not sure yet. Usually, games of this quality tend to explode in popularity even during the early access phase, whereas your game has only had an all-time peak of 60 players 2 months ago. Why do you think that is? It's probably a combination of multiple causes. It's possible that Wantless is just too unfamiliar. The setting is weird, some of the features are unusual, and the characters aren't classic gaming tropes either. The fantasy we're selling might lack clarity. You're a mind doctor in a dystopian future, and I'm not sure how clear that is if you're looking at the screenshots. Additionally, 2023 was a tough year for indie gaming, with a ton of games being released, and while many of them were successful, a lot more didn't get enough momentum to grow a larger community. What is currently your favorite boss fight in the game? Mine is probably Anathema with its constantly changing form. Tough one, though I like the pacing in the fight against Deception. How about a light-hearted one for a change? What games do the devs themselves like to play in their spare time? So many different games. RPGs are the main focus, tactical or otherwise. Soulsborne are top tier, Divinity is awesome, and recently Dredge did a great job capturing an atmosphere we love. And I've been trying some Warhammer 40k tacticals lately. Do you plan on eventually releasing the game on consoles as well? That will highly depend on how the player base grows from here onward. Let's wrap it up, boys. Roll the outro.